it's Michelle Taylor Willis, and thanks again for tuning in to According. Hey guys, it's Michelle Taylor. It's Michelle Taylor Willis back at you. You're watching According to Michelle.
This is your roof, but it's not invincible. Whether it's rain, wind, hail, or storms, our experts pinpoint obvious and hidden problems. Contact Legend Roofing to learn how your insurance can pay for your repairs. With an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau and 3-time award winner of the Best of South Fulton Lifestyle, Legend Roofing lives up to its name.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of According to Michelle with Michelle Taylor Willis. And again, I'm here on location at the beautiful Eleanor's place right here in Buckhead, Atlanta. And if you are a woman and if you're sick at being at home, quarantined, doing homeschool, and you need to get out and do some work of your own, this is the place you want to be. It's beautiful in here. They treat you like a queen every time you walk in, so I'm telling you. And last time I said I didn't know who Eleanor was, and it didn't dawn on me that it's Eleanor Roosevelt. I feel crazy. So Eleanor is Eleanor, the Eleanor in Eleanor's place. So you got to get over here and check out my friend Jennifer. Make sure you tell her Michelle Taylor Willis sent you. So now that we got that out the way, I'm super excited to have literally one of my favorite people, and I know I say that about everybody, but everybody that comes on my show is literally one of my favorite people. But she's not just a wonderful woman of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She's also one of our favorite judges here in Atlanta. I'm sitting here with Chief Magistrate Judge Cassandra Kirk. Yay!
Yay! I am so excited to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. And I heard when you sat down, you were like, my first time on set.
It is. And
Outside
this is a beautiful set.
It's gorgeous,
oh my
isn't
gosh.
it?
Yes, absolutely.
Women only.
Yeah.
But Atlanta's your home turf, right? Born and raised here.
So Atlanta people will say I'm from Decatur. Decatur people will say I'm from Decatur. And I was in Decatur long before it was greater, and so that's the funny thing, right?
Decatur didn't get greater until after you left it.
Yes, exactly. I was away at college and people were like, Decatur, where it's greater. And I was like, what? No. Okay, yeah, sure. Woo! Okay.
You're like, what happened? So when you came back, was it greater?
So I don't know.
Yeah, you can't. You're not allowed to say that on camera. You can't answer.
Decatur's always greater, but
there you go. Well, it'll just be our secret. There we go. You have beautiful eyes too, by the way.
Thank you.
I know I tell you that every time I see you, but I can't get over the eyes. It's like, is that how you do it? Is that how you get them?
I have no idea.
You just go up to them and you like look at them steely eyed.
I'm a really big fan of my smile, so I don't know anything about all this other
smile,
stuff.
though.
Yeah.
But her eyes, when she looks, she's like, I know you did it.
But we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt, even if you did.
Yeah, because that's how the law works. It's not actually at all.
Yeah, not at all. There is that whole innocent until proven guilty, though. And so that's really the only thing we're making a play about. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, so obviously you got yourself, before you were a judge, you were an attorney.
Right.
Did you hold court like in your bedroom as a child?
No.
Really?
No, not at all. And so as a child, both of my parents are teachers. And as a child, in our basement, we actually had a classroom set up. So I'm sure when people came over to visit with me and I was like, oh, let's go play school, they were like, what is wrong with you? So we had desk, we had a chalkboard, my dad had his office there, so there was a mimeograph
school
machine.
Is always in session.
Right, exactly. We had school. I didn't understand why people didn't think that was fun. Like a blackboard, and chalk. Yeah, we had school.
They're like, friend, this isn't.
Please get out.
Please get out. You should get out more. Do more.
My dad was born in 1918. My mom is obviously significantly younger, because obviously I wouldn't be here.
1918?
Right. So I am the age of most of my second cousins in my dad's side of the family. And so, no, not at all. They were both like, don't go be a teacher. Don't be a teacher. They thought I was going to go to medical school. And so that is where they were pushing me. And up until my junior year, I thought I was going to medical school too. And then I was like, yeah, I'm tired.
I can't do this forever.
Right. So I had done 2 summer pre-med programs and I was like, oh yes, gung ho. And then I was like, okay, I'm a little burnt out.
So I'll be an attorney instead.
Well, I didn't even think that, right? So it wasn't even that very clear. It was like my mother and father were like, okay, this is year number 3. You've
Right.
got one more. We don't really care what you do.
You're about to do something. You're about to get off our payroll.
Exactly. And the one thing I knew was I was going to school somewhere. I didn't know what that was going to be. And I was like, look at that, law school. There we go. Let's get in.
And that's how. So why do you think they didn't want you to be a teacher?
Well, I think they came from an era where that was what Black people did. Like,
Got
so
it.
Black people went to go teach. They didn't really necessarily step out and do other things.
Right.
And even though I was the class of the 100th Black person at my college, so I went to Williams College where in 1889, I can't remember his name, and I apologize for that. Gaius Bolin was the first Black to graduate in our college, and so even going there, clearly, obviously, Black people did other things.
Sure. But that was the thing. Yeah,
that was kind of what Black people of
Sure.
that age and stage did.
Especially if you had some notoriety, I guess, too, right? I mean, if you think about great educators like W.E.B. Du Bois.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yes.
So they were like, no, we want you to be better than us.
Right.
Got it.
And not better, but just have more opportunities, right? Because the best thing about being a teacher is you get summers off. People are like, my
they
first
sleep
year,
on that.
my first year as a lawyer, my first summer, I was like, okay, right, it's May, it's June. When do we get summer break? They were like, oh no, there is no summer break. I was like, what is this? How did we end up here?
You're like, you're not a teacher, friend.
They didn't even say that. They were just like, no. Like, they didn't understand what my dysfunction was. They were just like, no.
You're like, all right, yeah. So I'll see you guys in, 2 to 3 months.
Right. Well, how do we do this?
They're like, no. So how did you decide what your specialty was going to be?
So I don't know that I truly decided. I am a woman of faith, and so I was kind of very open to the universe. In law school, there were two seminars that I took. One of them was labor and employment, and the other was juvenile law. And so I was like, okay, let's try those out first. My first job out of law school was with a labor and employment firm here in Atlanta. It was a boutique firm, but it was a internationally known firm. And so that was a wonderful starting point for me. And then I realized that I wanted to do something different, something else. I wanted to not necessarily be the one that was doing the work behind the scenes while someone else. So it's, as a first year, you do a little bit of grunt work. Yep. I mean, you get a lot of glory and time with the other associates and some of the partners, but it's a very different working environment when you are not the person that's going to court.
Right.
And so for me, I was like, how is it I can get to court? Because I know how to talk. That's some of the things that I get to do. I'm okay with that. And to be a litigator, one of the partners at my firm said, a district attorney's office. That's a place where people get to go do that. And I was like, oh, let's see how that works. So, yeah. And understand, I was still living at home with my parents. And it's funny because people are like, oh, when are we going out? I was like, no, my parents have a 12 o'clock curfew for me. I will come out with you, but I will be back home. And so even having gone to law school.
Your parents and you're 26, you're a grown woman. And
that did not bother me at all. Right, that did not. Right, and it didn't bother me.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Dude, when I left college, when I left high school, you couldn't have paid me to go back and live in my mom's house because I wasn't abiding by any curfew. I'm grown. I got my own bills. Like, I'm about to come and you tell me what to do? Some more? Like, you spent 18 years for me, whatever you wanted in me, lady. Right. Your time is up.
Oh, no. Yeah. And my dad was like, oh, and we'll build onto the house when you all get older so you all can come back. I was like, okay, I'm good with that.
Oh, my gosh.
Right, yeah, no.
Yeah, something's not right with her. This is everything but normal. This is...
No, yay for the family, yay.
So you're at home and your parents are like, great, just go to work, come on, we got you.
Right.
But so at what point did you say, okay, it's really time for me to go out? You hit the DA's office.
So when I was an assistant DA down in Newton County, it was a pay cut from having worked at the firm. But remember, I'm just looking for experiences. And so I'm perfectly okay with changing jobs.
Were your parents paying all the bills and everything too?
So I didn't really have any bills.
You didn't have to pay to stay at home or anything towards rent or lights or...
Whose parents are these? No. No, there was no rush and I got a meal in the morning and a meal at night. No. And the great thing about the love of my parents, when I was finally like, so our neighbor across the street moved, and my mom and dad were like, oh, we're going to buy that house. You can live there. I was like, okay, let's do that. Yeah. So, right, they bought the house, and I was like, yes, this is awesome. This is awesome. But that didn't last long, because I was like, as an assistant district attorney, you don't make a lot of money, and I felt bad.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I feel really bad. Like, your house is paid off, but you're paying for this house for me, and there's not a way that I can actually afford this bill.
Right.
Like, if something were to happen to you all, I couldn't afford this bill. So I was like, let's sell it. But that just meant I moved back in with them. So that really, again, was not a problem.
But that is awesome, though. That's cool that you were able to kind of do that and take your time, and especially in that field, right?
Right, exactly. And it gave me the opportunity to change jobs pretty much like every 2 years, every 3 years.
And you got tons of
great
great
experience. So I got lots of different experience in a lot of different places. And I always knew that if somebody said, I don't want you here today, I don't want you here tomorrow, I'd be like, okay.
No problem.
I don't want to be here. That works for all of us.
Which is interesting, because you cut your teeth in Newton County.
Well, I cut my teeth
at the first firm.
Right.
But I mean, your second job was at Newton County, right? I mean, I would imagine that's, Newton County is different than Fulton County.
So my parents are from Mississippi. So for me, Newton County was like walking back into where my grandparents were from. And so it was fine. Like, I understood where I was. I understood the people there. The people were happy so obviously the people of color were like, oh my God, we've got a black ADA.
Right.
The officers were like, is there a black ADA? Did y'all see her? And so
they're like, producer, we don't believe she exists. What was the toughest case, do you remember? What was the most memorable, let me ask this, what was the most memorable time when you were at Newton County?
In Newton County, I had the joy and pleasure of being an assistant district attorney, and I was assigned, so there were 3 of us. I was assigned to a Superior Court rotation as well as a juvenile court rotation. This was really my first time seeing people do really horrible things to each other. And one of the cases that I was given was in juvenile court, and it was a boy that was alleged to have molested his sisters. The parents had to put alarms on the boy's door at night, alarms on the girl's door, just to keep the family safe. And it was just a twist in what it is that I thought families were about.
Yeah.
And for me, that was my first look at like kids in like deep crisis.
Right.
And the family wanted the best for the little boy. This was the mother and father's child. They wanted to make sure he was safe, but there was just some pathology in him that did not allow the other children in the home to be safe.
Yeah.
And for me, that was a really hard, like, I couldn't have imagined a place where, as a young girl, you were not safe in a home just because your brother was there.
Right.
And that's kind of what we talked through and worked through. And he eventually took a plea and was sent to a place where he could be helped with those very special issues. But for me, I was like, wow, that's I guess that's why we're here, for the victims of those crimes. But that was not something I would have expected, and particularly not from what you would consider a small town or a small city.
Right.
But those things happen all over.
All the time, I know.
Yeah.
And it's sickening and sad. And so disconcerting all kind of at the same time, right?
Right, yeah.
So I would imagine that would have to have shaped what you're doing today, right? Because you work on behalf of so many children, right? And Black boys, right?
So I'm a fan of people.
Yeah.
So, I think more so my parents, my upbringing, my faith is what really shaped my response to a lot of it. And shapes even my responses now. So even when people come to court, I want to make sure they understand what the process is, what it is we are about to do, and how it is we're about to do it. And so even before coming to you all today, I had to do 2 SB 440 hearings, and those are for children aged 13 to 16 and 364 days that have committed 7 deadly sins. And for me, each time I have one of these first appearance hearings, I want to make sure the child that is still there, because he is a child accused of a very, very adult crime, understands who he is, who understands what the crime is, that someone knows where he is. I want to confirm the day he was actually picked up to make sure that we've not kept him in a period of time. So the paperwork says one thing. I just want to make sure I go a little bit further to make sure that I am taking care of the people that are before me. And so I think that comes just from being as sheltered as I was as a child. It gives me the opportunity to say I had a really great life. I am still having a great life, but I want to make sure that other people are protected in that way, kind of shielded, and that somebody's looking out for them.
And nurtured, because you were very nurtured in a beautiful way.
Oh, very much so.
I know we were joking earlier, but clearly your parents loved you and spent their lives nurturing you and your sister, right? And so that's carried over into the work you do today.
Yeah.
So let me back up a little bit. So clearly, you know, you're making your way through your career here. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
kudos for that.
Thank you
but I know you take it very seriously for what people's understanding of the law and the courts is.
Right.
So what piece are we missing? What don't we understand about the law and the courts that we need to, that might keep us out of trouble? Because it's my understanding that once you get in that system, it is hard as hell to get out of it.
I think you've given a great summary, and I think the other issue is that there is disparate impact in the way cases are prosecuted. There's disparate impact in the way cases are even brought into the courts. I was reading today, someone sent me a text that said there's an area in Fulton County where because of COVID, they will no longer arrest people charged with domestic violence. And so that is not something that would be across the board, but that is something that a jurisdiction has made a decision on. And so for me, that is scary, because I'm thinking about that woman or that man that is the victim of that case, that now has had the police come out and they've been given a citation by this individual that has harmed them at some point, harmed them enough to call the police, and now has left them in that home. That's scary for me.
It is, especially when Bill Edwards, City of South Fulton Mayor, told me a few months back that in quarantine, their number one call was domestic violence.
Absolutely.
That was the number one crime.
Right.
And so now these citations aren't being issued.
No, it's only citations being issued.
I mean, because of COVID, and so now these.
Well, so that is the excuse that is being used, or I'm sorry, that is the justification. Because I want to be clear, that's the justification, and that is because of COVID. But it sets the victims up for a very. But it also sets the defendants up, right? So you've already been charged once, and now you're in a position where you really shouldn't be touching or seeing or having additional contact with this individual, but now y'all are all in the same house.
Which is insane. And I even think about that from a perspective for kids. I mean, child abuse victims where, I think that there's so many pieces of this from the COVID standpoint, from where most people, it's fine to be quarantined in a house with your family, right? But it's fine to be with your husband all day or your wife all day.
For a lot of people, this is a dangerous time.
For a lot of people, this could be a death sentence.
Yes.
Which to me, it just seems, that's crazy. So for you, like I said, these pieces that we're missing, like how do we stay out of the system by not doing anything wrong, right? But how do we really educate people that, like, you cannot fall victim to the system, because the system don't love you, man.
Well, the system's not set up to love you. The system is set up to do exactly what the system does. The system is set up to arrest and detain and punish, and that is what the system is set up for. Thankfully, we have an opportunity to reimagine what that system actually does. And so even through our misdemeanor mental health court, we have had, thankfully from our solicitor, we have had some of those cases that did involve family violence that were probably a parent and a child that have been able to come into the misdemeanor mental health court. And so those defendants were able to get help. And that's really what they need, is help and support. And that gives the families a leg up on being able to say, look, I know you are safe. I know that you've gotten the resources that you need, and I can continue to support you. So it helps unify the family. Other ways to stay out, I You can't say just drive down the street and nothing will happen to you, right? So I've been pulled over. I've had a police officer pull a weapon on me, right? And I was just having been an assistant district attorney, and so that's not enough. I think people need to realize that the things that we say happen.
Yeah.
And what my parents always told me was get home, right? There's no need to cause a scene where you are. Get home. We will deal with it once you get home. We will figure
Just
out if
get
you need a
home.
lawyer, right? As opposed to like a body bag at the scene.
Right. There's no reason. But I've got 4 boys, right? And I tell them, like, listen, please, like, don't get home first, and then we'll figure out a way to make you a hero.
Right.
Right. Like, don't be a hero in the streets because you might not make it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so that's great advice. Just like get home.
Right.
Like let's figure it out once you get back in the house.
Yeah.
Because that's tough.
That's it. Because I think a lot of times, even so, when I got pulled over and the officer pulled his little weapon out, and actually it wasn't a little
You
weapon,
know,
right?
he
But
put
he
his
pulled
little
his
gun
weapon
on
out
me. He thought he did something.
Well, the problem is, like again, my parents are from the country.
Oh, can the record look? Can I approach the bench? Your Honor?
It depends.
Okay.
I will draw a little line.
I just want the record. I want it on the record to say she's hilarious. Okay, that's it. All right. And we're back. Sidebar.
So it was. So I had my husband at the time had just bought me a brand new car, and so I was driving from Atlanta back into Lithonia in this brand new car. And so when the police officer blue lighted me, I was like, okay, so I must have been speeding. It's possible. It's possible. But when he got out of the car, he got out with his weapon drawn, and he walked to the back side of my car. And he was kind of at my passenger window with his weapon at me. And I have been an assistant district attorney for about 6 years now. And so I was like, oh, this is funny, right? So I wasn't at the point where I was like frightened of him. Right. I was like, okay, how can I help you? And he started, so I didn't, from my interaction with law enforcement, having been an assistant district attorney, I didn't perceive him as a threat. Right. He clearly perceived me as a threat. Right. And so I was like, okay, hey, how can I help you? I'm an assistant district attorney. What's going on? And he started with there's something wrong with your there's something wrong with your tag.
So you gotta.
There's something wrong with my tag. Okay. And so finally he realized that I wasn't going to be like, rah! I was just kind of like, okay.
What else?
What? Right? How can I help you? And I don't know if he got embarrassed. Like I couldn't imagine that he first off couldn't have seen that I was a girl. But the way he got out of the car was like I was a threat to him.
Right. You're like, dude, my hair is in a ponytail. I'm just kind of driving.
Right.
Why is the gun drawn? Why?
Right. And so
I got like 13 kilos of cocaine in the car.
Yeah, apparently I should have, right? Joke. Right.
Strike that.
Perfect mule, right? Yeah, no. That's a joke. JQC, that's a joke. Did not transport any illegal substances ever.
She was at her mom's house till she was 35, friends, so it's not even possible.
And would have been there longer if she could have helped it. I mean, the only thing that chased me out was my sister came back with my niece. I was like, oh, this is too many people.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, this is too many people.
I'm finding my own place. You guys are taking over my system here.
Right.
So what happened? What did he...
So I don't even remember. I know I got home. I spoke to my then husband about it. But as I spoke to my mother about it too, because that's kind of this is the crazy that has just happened to me. And she's like, are you okay? I was like, I'm fine. She's like, and? I was like, and is right. I mean, I didn't get a citation. I have no citation. I have nothing.
So what was the purpose?
I guess he thought the car was stolen because of the car it was, or I was too young. I looked too young to be in the car that I was just like, I don't even understand. Right. Because he started off with the tag.
Guns drawn.
It couldn't have been the tag.
So these things happen. We know
they happen to everyone, no matter, right.
These things happen.
Yeah.
So what, bottom line, if you have a child, bottom line, what do people need to know? Like if you had to tell people one thing,
right.
What do people need to know?
So my nephew is on the spectrum, and so what we have encouraged my sister with him is teach him these scenarios so that they are in his brain, so he does not have to think of them. His first response is always going to be to protect himself. It doesn't matter if there is a man in a uniform. It doesn't matter if there is a man with a gun on him. His first response is to protect himself. And until he is able to work through scenarios like this, I know, like one day he was home with my mom and I, poor nephew, and we were like, so if you get pulled over, what do you say? You say, my name is X and I'd like to have a lawyer. Those are the only things you say. My name is X and I'd like to have a lawyer. And you just sit and wait. If they don't give you a lawyer, I'd like to make a phone call. Like, this is the extent of the conversation you have. That's how you can be safe.
Wow. Did you guys get that? This is my name. I want an attorney, and this is my parents' number. That's it. There's no extra conversation.
Oh, no.
There's no dialogue. There's no, hey, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Why are you rolling up on me?
Yeah. There's no pushing and shoving.
There's no pushing and shoving. 3 statements, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. But that's just me in my household, right? You teach your kids how you wish to teach them, but right. So
So what's next for Judge Kirk? What's your end game?
wow. So I truly don't know. And for me, having to learn what it is everyone else thought they knew or assumed they knew was a very good part, because that helped me break down the places in Fulton County where we could figure out how we could do it better. And so if anyone goes to our website, magistrateFulton.org, you will see that we now have a chat bot. So there is a helper there on your page. We have our website set up so that it's user friendly, and so I created our first website. I really want people to be informed about what it is. We have what it is when you come to court. We have a high pro se litigant population, which means people that come to court and represent themselves. Well, how do they know what they're doing? Well, if you come to our website, we've got frequently asked questions. We've got a pamphlet. We probably have a video that matches that pamphlet. So it really is, for me, about opening up what it is court is, what it is. So it's the accessibility piece, right? It's making what it is you need accessible and then empowering you to use it.
Got you.
So the short answer is I'll be here until I'm not.
Okay, listen, we're almost done, but it was so cool. Our media apprentice taught us this really cool game for me to play with you. So at the end of every show, we play like little games. And so we're going to try. Yeah, Sierra, that's right, you met Sierra. Guys, we're sitting here with Chief Magistrate Judge Cassandra Kirk, who's also an AKA. We're talking about so many different things. I had no idea this is where this was going to go, but I'm so glad it's gone all of these different places. Okay, so here's the thing. What you have to do, it's called I'm the juror. I just made that up. I'm the juror. Okay. I'm the juror.
Okay.
Yes, Sierra made it up. But I came up with the name. And so you have to present, like, think of one of your past cases, and then you have to give me some of the facts of the case, and I have to decide if the person was found guilty or innocent.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty good at this stuff, so I'm pretty sure I'll get it right.
Okay. Right. So as a senior assistant district attorney in the white collar division of the Fulton County DA's office, I tried a case where...
White collar, is that like money laundering or something?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
See, I got this already.
Right. It is crimes, financial crimes. There was a individual that was charged with fraudulently using an elder person's identity to do a couple of things. He was charged with, number one, using it to open a bank account where he transferred the elderly gentleman's funds into his bank account, and then opening credit cards where he proceeded to charge up those credit cards. The evidence would show that there was a relationship between these people. There was a difference in age, so there was kind of a middle age and toward the end of like 70, 80-year-old other gentleman. So there was a difference in age, but there was a friendship. And so people on the outside would simply say, oh, these people are friends and they are doing, this gentleman, the younger gentleman is helping the older gentleman, nothing untoward, until a relative of the older gentleman was like, wait, stop, what's going on? And then of course the police got involved, everyone got involved. And so that's it. Do you need more facts?
If I were a juror, I can ask questions, right?
Well, so in some, I've heard that some jurors actually do ask questions. So sure, ask a question.
Okay. How long a time period did this transpire?
Probably about 2 to 3 years.
Okay. And the men had a good relationship. They weren't just friendly, they were actually
So they
friends.
were like, someone would assume they were mentor-mentee.
Got you. Okay.
But they were
And-
not related, but mentor-mentee.
And how did this come out? You said one of the friends of the older
One
gentleman
of
was
the
like,
family members of the older gentleman was like, something's not right. I don't know what's
Got
happening
you.
with, like, yeah, my uncle's money or something like that.
and final question, the accused, what was his reasoning? What did he say? He
It's a
said-
gift. We're friends. It's a gift.
Okay. I say guilty.
That's what I would say too.
He's innocent? That's not what the juror said? Wait, stop, cut back, roll that back. I say innocent.
Yeah, you were as confused as I was. I was like, oh, okay. Huh.
He was found innocent
He was found not guilty.
by 12
jury.
jurors. And he's walking free.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the jury system. Okay. Are y'all getting to say? Okay, I gotta wrap this. I could talk to you all freaking day, but I'm sure there's another guest waiting around here somewhere that
Yes,
I've got to
please.
interview. Listen, thank you so much. This was fun. I mean, I know
This
it
was
was.
fun
'cause
for me,
everybody
yeah.
behind there is just like dying laughing in the background. I'm so glad you came on, and I have to see you more often
Yes,
than
yes.
just coming onto one of our
Right.
sets.
No, thank you for having me. I am so excited to be able to come. And again, this
Absolutely.
is my first experience on set.
And this was your best one, right?
Yes.
No one will ever.
No, yeah, this was actually it. This was it.
You'll never do another one.
So I won't say that, but
Okay.
yeah.
Dang it. Okay, but
But you were
there-
my first. This
and
is
they'll
awesome.
have I broke your.
That's right. High
interview
bar.
cherry.
There we go.
Oh, well,
High
that
bar.
too. Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
High
There's
bar.
a very high bar, and I am
Absolutely.
so sorry for anybody else that has to come after me.
I agree.
Judge Cassandra Kirk, Chief Magistrate Cassandra Kirk. She is amazing, and she's doing such wonderful work. You can find her. Where can people find you on socials? or-
Oh, absolutely. Our magistrate court is www.magistratefulton.org. Our Facebook page is Magistrate Court of Fulton County. Our Instagram is Magistrate Fulton. My personal Instagram is Keep Kirk Chief. Remember that, Keep Kirk Chief, because there's another election coming up. If you want to send me money now, notice the change.
Look
if you'd
at that.
like to send me
She
money
is-
now, CassandraKirk.org.com. Whatever, Cassandra Kirk, you'll figure it. It says Judge Cassandra Kirk.
So thanks again. I hope you guys got all of that. We'll put it somewhere on the screen so you can get it. But thanks again for joining in. Let's stay tuned and see who the next guest is, all right?
Right.
In the hustle of life, sometimes we forget what's important. Sometimes we need to think like children. They understand it's the simple things in life that bring joy. Maybe it's connecting with an old friend and sharing grand stories. Yes, business is important, but it's connection that builds a community. Maybe it's time to catch a movie with a loved one and get reacquainted with what's truly important. This is the spirit of the city of South Fulton, where families experience that more lives here. Hey guys, it's Michelle Taylor Willis, and welcome to another episode of According to Michelle. And I'm really excited because we're actually in a beautiful Viking kitchen in, where are we? What city is this?
This is Atlanta.
This is Atlanta?
Atlanta.
I feel like I drove outside of Atlanta.
Really?
To get here. Maybe I didn't. But we're at Food and Lifestyle TV Network, which is located somewhere in Atlanta. I don't think it's Atlanta personally because I drove a long way, but whatever. I'm sure it's still Atlanta. But anyway, we're in the kitchen today with one of my favorite people. Everybody on my show is one of my favorite people, right? None other than celebrity chef, personal chef, Chef Rockey. And the crowd goes wild.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Like
I appreciate it. That's a wonderful introduction, by the way.
Is it?
I appreciate that.
Personal celebrity chef? Celebrity personal chef?
I mean, I'm a chef for
Sure.
good people. I like to feed good people.
You do, and you feed good people good food. I know because
Right.
I've had it.
Right.
So one of the things we want to do and we like to do on According to Michelle is kind of mix it up a little bit, right? So it's not always just sitting in beautiful spaces. Sometimes we're behind bars. Sometimes not behind
Behind
bars.
bars.
Not like prison
Look.
behind bars. Like, can I get one phone call, please? I deserve one call.
So the question is, if you had to phone a friend and you were behind bars, who would you phone?
I call my husband.
Well, there you go.
I mean, duh. I know you can't see the ring under this big black.
I mean, no,
dome.
you really can't. If you can zoom in right there, if you zoom in right there, you could that would actually hurt somebody.
Yeah, it would.
And then you got the guns behind it. So I mean.
Oh, hey, listen. Hey, do you need a Band-Aid? Because you're really cut.
Yeah. Let's try.
Right?
Let's try again next Sunday.
Hey,
Yeah.
do you need some needle and thread? Because it looks like you're ripped. Okay, we're cooking today. All right, comedy maybe is not my thing, but
I got one.
What?
If you could smell what the Rock is cooking.
Oh, but you, Rocky, not that Rocky.
This Rock.
Okay, well, we'll go with that. Sure.
Okay.
That was about as good as mine.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Not with the other hand. That one. Yeah. No, that's a hurt hand.
Oh yeah, got it. I'm with you.
Go.
And we're back. How'd you come up with Chef Rockey? Who calls you that? That's what your mom and them call you?
No, actually, I was in the kitchen one day, and my friends were expressing to me how I rocked in the kitchen, and they were like, "Yo, there's this, you know." And then I just started recreating the character of who Chef Rockey should be.
So who should Chef Rockey be?
Over the top.
I would agree with that completely. We'd agree with that, right? Everybody, but yeah, okay, he's definitely over the top. In a good way.
Yeah, absolutely. But no holds barred. It's kind of one of those situations where you know when you've tasted my food or who I've partnered with.
All right, what are we cooking?
Today, you can actually explain it because you went shopping with me.
I did. Okay, so here we have rainbow trout that has been marinated in what looks to be
Come on.
Italian spices.
Let's see how good she is.
This would be lemon and parsley.
Of course, you're going by the things you see.
Yeah.
You're not even smelling them right now.
Chili peppers.
Chili peppers, a little bit, yes.
A little bit of chili peppers.
And then we can go ahead and go to the shrimp. I did a jerk shrimp.
These are prawns.
Those are shrimp.
These look like prawns. These things look like they could hit me in the face.
What do you want to start
And then
with?
wait, what about, we're making crab cakes,
Yeah, we're going to do crab cakes. You want
crab.
to start on the crab cakes?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it
that.
on the crab cakes. Should I grab this?
Absolutely, grab that.
So we're going to start with some grapeseed oil because it has a high temperature burn
I
content.
use grapeseed oil too.
Oh my, look, see, I knew I had to come with the right stuff. I couldn't come with regular EVO. And then we're going to use some of our butter that you
I can't wait
love
for
so
that.
much. So what we're going to do
Yep.
is make the crab cake.
Okay, let's make
So
them.
there you go.
So I'm just gonna stuff them in there?
Yeah.
Right. How did you end up chefing? Because you were in the military, right?
Navy, U.S. Navy, yes.
In the Navy. Am I doing this right?
USS Abraham Lincoln, yes. And what you want to do is actually put pressure on it because you want to make it solid. So when we take that off, we put
Solid.
solid.
Solid as a rock. Okay, wait, so then
yeah.
I take this
That's
off?
it, yeah, there you go,
Oh,
boom.
that carrot cake is humongous. Who's gonna eat that thing? How did you end up in the Navy?
I wanted to get out of L.A. and also.
Oh, you're a
Memphis.
California boy, right?
I definitely wanted to get out. It was.
Why'd you want to leave LA? Everybody loves
I
California.
wanted to do something with my life.
You don't think you could have done it in LA?
I could have, but as an adolescent and with everything that was going on in the 80s and 90s, I definitely wanted to venture out and see the world. I had an older brother, so I was able to see a lot of things that happened in the streets.
Got you.
So I definitely didn't want to be a part of that, you know.
So you decided to go to the Navy.
Hasta luego.
So I think you put some some Dijon mustard in here,
You do.
right?
You see the seeds, don't
I do see the seeds, yeah.
Look at you.
And,
see? I knew I had to come on my A game.
You did, yeah. And what else did you put in here, just so if somebody wants to try to recreate these things?
Of course, you already mentioned honey Dijon. I did a little bit of chipotle mayo. I didn't use the breadcrumbs because I think breadcrumbs take up the filling, and you'll really get that crab cake feel from it. So also we did, what do we do?
Little pepper?
Absolutely, little pepper. And some vegetable seasoning, which is actually my favorite.
Yeah.
So while you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and grill off these rainbow trout.
Okay.
To make sure we get those.
So these grilled, I know, that's what everybody wants.
That's that sound,
the sound, right?
That good sound.
So I'm always curious, because this is something I love to grill, but I don't have perfect grill marks.
Really?
So the secret is to lay them
at a 90-degree angle, and then flip it back to a 90-degree angle.
Like crisscross, that's how you get it.
Right.
So you end up in the galley, right? Isn't that what they call it in the...
Look at you. You came prepared, didn't you?
I do my research, man.
Okay, yes, you're absolutely right.
So talk to, because I think your story is interesting, how you ended up being like, the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the galley when I got into the military. I started cooking. And a couple of the captains, actually the captain of the USS Abraham Lincoln, saw what I was doing and saw how I commanded people at a young age, and basically took me up to the captains and admirals mess, where I was able to cook for those type of people.
So you cooked for like
those people,
the captains and the admirals. And do we flip these yet?
Absolutely. You want to get those angles? You want to get those diamonds?
I do.
So what you want to do? A little cheat is to kind of pick it up a little bit and make sure the first marks are there. And then what you're going to do, I'm going to let you do the second one.
Okay.
You just kind of want to lightly and gently, because this is a delicate fish.
Right.
Turn it at the other 90-degree angle. Boom. And that's going to make your diamond mark.
Gotcha.
So what you want to do once again, here.
So I want to cheat first,
You're going to cheat first. You're going to lift it up. Don't lift. Put the spatula underneath the tail so the tail doesn't come out because it's delicate.
Gotcha.
And you just want to be able to look at it a little bit. And you already know that one has the mark. See, you're about to pull the tail off.
Okay, I know. That's what
I said delicate.
I know. I don't know how to be delicate. I'm very rough. Okay, so now.
So now you want to go lightly, gently under it. Yep. And then pick it up. And then you want to turn.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Boom. There you go. And that's going to give us our wonderful, beautiful diamond mark.
Wow, I did it. I did it, Mom.
Good job, friend.
Thanks, friend. Okay, there's that. I was going to ask you something about this. Whoa.
Yeah, this is a Viking's kitchen.
Hey,
Lights Out TV.
A little warning, maybe? Michelle, your eyebrows
Hey, Devo, what are the BTUs?
Jeez, Pete, I literally almost scorched my eyebrows off.
Welcome to the kitchen.
If
you can't stand the heat,
get out of the kitchen or the galley.
We always drop the Marines off and we laugh and we're like, bye guys.
So, really? So you guys actually transport the...
Yeah, the USS Abraham Lincoln was an aircraft carrier, and we actually transported Marines to war zones by 3,000, 4,000.
After they had a good lunch.
After they had a good lunch and they were ready. Yeah.
21 years you're in, and so at what point did you decide to get out?
When I found the chefing career.
You were like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm supposed to do, and it's time for me to go. And I can get paid for the rest of my life for nothing.
Right, because you got honorably discharged, right? And so you're a vet now. Thank you for your service.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for keeping us safe on the water. What's one of the craziest places you've been?
I'd probably say I think I like the not really crazy, but I think I would say like Bahrain.
Now, where is that? Is that Middle East?
Yes. See,
Just a wild guess.
Just a wild guess. It sounded like it was the Middle East.
It did. Yeah, it did.
So now you're using the cheat code.
Well, hey, listen, that's what why recreate the wheel?
Don't have to, right?
Don't have to, right?
Gotcha.
Hey, this is what I was going to ask you. One of the secrets, I think, and you can confirm this, with fish, when you grill fish on the grill, like the grill needs to be really oiled, and the fish need to be oily too, or part of the marinade. Yeah.
So
because that'll keep it from sticking, right?
Correct.
Got it. Because a lot of people, when they grill fish, they'll call it nasty.
Look at that.
I did that.
That one's yours.
I did that all by myself.
That's beautiful.
But people will say, like, how do I keep the fish from sticking? And I'll be like, you got to make sure the grill is really oiled. And I put oil in my marinade too, like when I like olive oil and that,
Right.
just to add extra oil.
But you also don't want to burn it either.
Because the oil will make it, oh God.
Right.
So there's like a delicate balance between that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, cool, got it. So, so Bahrain, why'd you find Bahrain so interesting?
Really, because I was well traveled when I was a youngster.
Yeah.
But just growing up, it was one of those places where it's like there are certain things I've never seen before.
Right.
So I think that was pretty much the gist of it, was that I have never seen culture in that format, I would say.
What religion are they over there?
I couldn't even tell you, honestly.
Oh, that's still gonna be pretty. Got you. So
now you see how the butter's already browning.
yeah.
So that's what we, you know what I'm saying, that we wanted to get the nice crust on there, and definitely didn't want it to really decolorize what we're looking for, because we still wanted to be elegant and pleasant.
I feel like I want to put this between two pieces of brioche
See, now we're talking.
with a little chipotle mayo, because you already have chipotle mayo in there. Little
Right.
chipotle mayo drizzle. That'd be so good. So, all right, so okay, chefing is your thing. This is what
Right.
I'm put on this earth to do.
Correct.
So you come out, how do you start cooking? Because you cook for some really cool people, and you're still cooking for really cool people.
Correct.
How did you enter the space where you got, an opportunity to get in these, all these cool places?
There was actually a restaurant in Buckhead that I helped start, which was Season 52.
You helped start Seasons 52?
Yeah, they actually sent me to a little bit of culinary art school down in Florida, things of that nature.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
So-
Everybody knows Seasons 52. They have like the 50 calorie desserts.
Right, absolutely. And and it was fun, and I enjoyed it. And there was a couple of people that I met that came there that were celebrities that were well known. And yeah, there it was.
So did you you're like, hey, if y'all like the cooking, call me.
No, actually,
just lit on the card.
they asked who the chef was, and it was me. And next thing you know, we're actually going into adventures of opening restaurants and things of that nature, and we had fun with it.
So how many restaurants have you opened now?
I would say it would be 3 that was a part of.
And so what's your favorite thing to cook? Can I taste a piece of this?
Absolutely not right now.
Okay, good.
But you can squeeze some lemon on it.
Okay, well, I'll take what I can get, I guess.
And then because you have seeds in it, so you actually want to put the hand underneath
okay.
it. There you go. And I'm a real citrusy guy. I like flavors. Right?
Yes.
So we're gonna do lemon and lime.
Okay.
How do you think about that?
I think it's great.
And I actually already kind of roasted them, so you get that real natural flavors.
So
out
what's
of it.
so that's why you roast. You
Right, 'cause
roast
you
these
want the
things?
nice, real. How it's that herbal essence. You want to get that.
Shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah, hey. I mean, it is what it is.
Herbal essence.
It still sounds good, right?
It does.
So while we're doing that, we're going to do that because what it's going to do is give a reduction of the lemon and lime, and once you put it in the oven, you'll get those nice flavors, those bold flavors. So when you take that first bite, it'll be amazing.
Got you.
So if you want to start skewering the shrimp,
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
We'll throw them on the grill.
Oh, yay. Okay, that sounds fun. Am I doing this right?
You can do it however you want to.
Okay.
The biggest thing about cooking in the kitchen is how you're going to prepare it and actually what the presentation is going to look like.
I don't have a presentation. I
Okay.
put
Well,
I put it on
sometimes you can make it up.
I put it on the table, and then I'm like, here, eat. We got the Rockey.
The Rockey.
We got Chef Rockey in the house. Not to be confused with The Rock.
I like how you did. I like how you played your words.
See what I did there?
Absolutely.
And we've got trout in the oven. We've got some grilled shrimp. We've got crab cakes. We've got. But why are y'all so dramatic
Why not?
with everything?
Why not be dramatic? I mean, are you finished or are you done?
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Are you ready to eat?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was ready to eat when I walked in here.
Were you?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's go to plating. How about that?
Okay. Oh yeah. Let's plate. That sounds fun.
Cool.
Yeah, because I want to. Can I plate it?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
want to watch you plate it first, then I'll plate it.
Gotcha.
Let me tell you why I like this dish.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so easy, right? You just got these sangria tomatoes, which I thought were going to be a drink, but they're actually tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew? Just chopped up asparagus, baby, sliced portobello mushrooms, butter and Italian spices and just saute. Like, this is a great dish. I mean, my 11-year-old just started vegetarianism in January.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I always cook a lot of vegetables, but now I'm like super, super heavy on the vegetables, right? Mm-hmm. And so stuff like this is so easy, and that's what I think, like, people get intimidated sometimes by cooking, but this is such an easy thing to cook. I mean, let me ask you this. If people don't have one of these fancy grills at home, George Foreman works, right?
It does. It does.
I mean, because everybody, I mean, let's just be honest. Everybody, we don't all have kitchens like this to be able to do this. We don't all have 4 burners and a grill or a griddle. Right. So what can people do that's easy if they want to do something like this?
Like you just said, use a grill, George Foreman. Like you just said, use a George Foreman grill. I mean, you're gonna get the same marks. Spray it down with a little bit of EVO or some spray on, and you go to town.
What's the biggest difference between this grill and my grill outside? Just the flavor from the charcoal and
Absolutely, because you're gonna get more of a concentrated smoke from the charcoal.
Yeah.
And then when you use wood, you're gonna get more smoke, mesquite, apple, pecan. Right here, you're really just gonna get a grilled seasoning.
Gotcha.
Versus smoked wood penetrated into the food.
Right.
So that's.
But this is, I mean, at a high heat though, it'll really be able to sear those flavors in.
Yeah, you're absolutely. Like I said, you're grilling flavors.
Right.
You're actually searing and grilling flavors. So a little bit more EVO, just get the sheen in there.
And this is with Now, where do we get this vegetable seasoning from?
The vegetable seasoning, where we go? Restaurant Depot today?
No, but I mean, everybody can't get in Restaurant Depot. So is there vegetable seasoning like at Publix or Kroger?
I mean, there's blends, but there's actually a particular brand. And actually, we got it from the Spiceology Spice Cabinet that actually sponsors with Food and Lifestyle TV.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Absolutely.
So vegetable seasoning, if you can find some kind of vegetable seasoning and season your salad with it, a little bit of EVOO. So you don't even need dressing at that point.
You really don't.
Do you put like a little bit of like vinegar or balsamic vinegar or anything like that?
Watch this, Michelle. Just taste the lettuce with nothing on it and just that. Just taste it. See what you think. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Just by itself, right? There we go.
Okay.
So we're gonna grab our plates that we already pre-got.
You're out of frame. Oh. Yep.
Well, let's pull me back into frame. Let's take this off the heat.
Because if you can't take the heat.
Get out the kitchen.
Okay, that's hot. No!
You have gloves on.
These are plastic gloves.
You're a chef also as well in the kitchen.
I'm not a
There's
chef.
4
I
kids.
just cook.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna gently place, gently. We're gonna gently place lettuce in the middle of the plate.
You were just gently playing with the lettuce over here. Why do we have to gently place it now?
So literally, I just plated it there, and you're gonna do the other plate here. We'll
Okay.
move all this other good stuff out of the way.
I'm gonna this is very
Gently.
gentle.
And what I did, I put the paprika on there, and actually the paprika gives a nice smoked flavor. So when you're mixing the food, because you know how sometimes you have sauces and everything on the plate, you gotta want to smother it, you know. You gotta gently, because you actually want to get it right in the center of the plate, and you don't want to disturb what we did over there, right?
Okay.
All right in the middle, gently. You gotta be gentle with the food.
I'm being very gentle with the food.
Okay.
The food loves me.
Look at there. Is a smiley face?
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. That looks good.
Look at that. Don't you just want to eat it right now? Because that's that splat, right?
That's a splat. That's a splat. They'll be like, oh, Michelle, what'd you put in your crab cakes? I'll be like, don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go with the vegetables. So we're gonna lay the vegetables down, give a good base. Actually, let's do.
Where were you gonna put them?
We're gonna do it right there.
Oh, on the cutting board.
Yes, ma'am.
This is so presentation. Okay.
Absolutely. So
Got
let's
it.
work on that. Let's put it right there in the middle. Boom. Let's make sure our griddle's off, and we're off to make sure we don't.
So if I'm having like a dinner party or just like some people over for like, I could just do this. Even if I had like a big platter, I could put this like in the platter, right?
Absolutely.
So this is asparagus, sangria tomatoes, baby bellas, and then olive oil, butter, Italian spices. Boom, right?
Boom. You got it.
Food. So I'm going to turn this way.
Why are you over here?
Okay,
See,
and then I'm gonna guess the
I'm trying to throw
food.
you off.
He's gonna give me a food. I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna eat it, and I'm gonna be able to tell him what that food is because my palate is so discerning.
You have to tell me exactly what it is.
I mean, I can be in the general family.
Okay. Well,
Like, it doesn't have to be
are you
perfect.
ready? Yeah, turn
Yes.
your back and close your eyes. Are your eyes closed?
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
don't cheat.
I'm not a cheater.
Okay.
All the time.
You ready? Open your mouth.
Make sure it's not
No,
hot.
It's not super, super hot. You ready? Take a bite. Bite it. Bites. You can open. What do you have? Wow. According to Michelle, what is it?
It's bread.
Okay. What kind
It's
of
a
bread?
very yeasty bread
Okay.
that could really use some butter.
Dipped in butter, guys. What kind of bread?
Yeasty bread. We did this already.
No, it's not a yeasty bread.
I taste lots of yeast.
Okay. You actually buy it in the mall.
Buy in the mall.
Buy it in the mall. You actually buy it in the mall.
Pretzel.
Yes.
Ah, see that? Yes, that's what I'm
I had to
talking
give you a
about.
hint.
Did you hear that, guys? We just finished another crazy episode. I don't even know what happened in this kitchen, but I do know I'm about to eat all of that. Rocky, thank you so much.
I definitely appreciate you.
Devo, thank you. Food and Lifestyle TV Network. Make sure you check them out for all things food and shows and chefs and everything. And of course, you can find me on socials at Michelle Taylor Willis on just about everything. And Chef Rockey at Chef Rockey, right?
ChefRockey. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. And guess what time it is? It's time to eat.
It's time to
let's
eat.
ladies
It's time to
and
eat. It's time to eat. Guys,
to eat.
we'll see you next Wednesday at 5 p.m. according to Michelle on the AIB Network. Next time.